Hey guys, so today's video is a really exciting one because it's the start of my fall makeup tutorials. Well, actually, I already filmed one, but I'm not quite sure when it's going to go up. If it's going to go up before this one or after this one. But anyways, this one is exciting because it's something really different for me and something kind of different for fall makeup tutorials. So I was kind of sitting around brainstorming video ideas the other day, and I was thinking I want to create something really fall, but I want to use something that everyone has access to, or a lot of people have access to. And then I got my Boxycharm in the mail, and I was like, well, why don't I do a fall makeup tutorial with everything that's in my Boxycharm? And the funny thing is that the palette that came in this month's Boxycharm is actually the Nightingale palette from Pretty Vulgar. Also, how beautiful is this packaging? I am obsessed with it. I think it's stunning. And this palette is very, very cool toned, so I'm kind of challenging myself to go outside my comfort zone a bit with these more cool tones. But I also got this beautiful berry lip from Lorac, so I'm really excited to kind of pair those and make kind of a fall look. I'll just really quickly unbox the other things that I got so you guys see them before I put them on my eyeballs. So I also got this Laura Geller Baked Blush and Brighten in the shade Tropic Hues. Now I'm not really sure how this is going to pair with a cool toned look. We're just going to have to see on that one. But then I also got this awesome little brush set that I've dropped all over. This awesome little brush set from Alamar Cosmetics. It's called the Ojitos brush set, I think. I don't know. I took Spanish in like 9th grade and it's been a few years since then. But it comes with a really nice fluffy brush. This one I feel like is kind of unique because it's not the most full fluffy brush and it has very like flexible bristles, so I'm really intrigued to use this one. An awesome little tiny precise packing brush and then a flat definer brush, and I use all these brushes constantly in my makeup routine, so I was really excited to get those in the box. And then I also got the Butter London Stroke of Wow roll-on liner. Now this is one of those liners, you guys, that has like the little rolly applicator. And I am so excited to try this. I really wanted to try the Nude Sticks one. I really wanted it for the colors. They had like this really gorgeous like rose gold metallic one, and I thought it looked so stunning. But I'm really excited to kind of try this format. I've never tried it before, so yeah, I'm really excited to use this. Also, if my lighting is a bit weird in this video, I'm trying something new. I think it looks okay like on my camera, but we'll see once I edit it if I keep this lighting. So lighting might be kind of weird in this video and another video that I'm planning to film after this. So please just bear with me. If you think the lighting's better in this video compared to my other videos, let me know in the comments below if you think it's worse. I love constructive criticism. I love your guys' feedback. So if you guys want to see the fall makeup look I come up with, just keep watching. So per usual, we're going to start off our look with some eye primer. This is the Essence I Heart Color Intensifying Eye Primer. This is just my favorite. It is super duper affordable and it really does intensify the color of my eyeshadows, and it lasts quite well on my eyes. I do kind of want to try a new one though, just because I want one that is very tinted. I almost want to go try like the matte paint pot, but I feel like I've heard that that's drying, and in the winter time my eyelids can get pretty dry. And then I am just going to very lightly set my crease, and to do that I'm going to go in with the shade Nocturnal in the Nightingale palette. And I'm just going to take the fluffy brush in the Alamar Cosmetics set and just very lightly kind of just tap over my crease. I like my lid to stay a bit tacky because I find that it helps the lid shades pop just a bit more. And so I'm thinking for this look I want to play with some glitter. So I did go ahead and grab my Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Satin, Smoldering Satin. It's this beautiful like glittering taupe shade. It's pretty. So I'm thinking I'm going to want to put that all over my lid. So I think I'm going to use this palette to kind of set up the eye for that. And so I think I'm just going to start with the shade Hide and Seek, and again I'm going to use that blending brush. So now you're a little bit closer, you can probably see what I'm doing a little bit better. But like I said before, I'm just going to take the shade Hide and Seek, which is just kind of a nice medium taupe shade, just on that fluffy brush. And I'm just going to start blending this into the crease. I feel like when I first started with makeup, I thought I liked cool tones, but now that I've actually played with makeup a little bit more and just kind of gotten to know my makeup preferences, I realized that cool tones are really not my favorite. I think just the people who I was watching on YouTube at that time loved cool tones, so I was like, oh, I love cool tones too. And I feel like they look great on some people, and on me they're not super flattering, I feel like, with my coloring. But maybe this palette will change that. This brush is super duper soft. It's a bit floppier than what I typically like for this step, so I might have to go in with one of my brushes. I'm thinking that I'm going to. I'm just going to take my Morphe M433, which is just this little more precise blending brush, and just take a little bit of hide and seek once again, and just kind of buff that more into my crease. I feel like that brush wasn't depositing as much color as I wanted it to, as precisely. And then I'm just going to take the big fluffy brush from the LMR Cosmetics company, and I'm just going to wipe all the excess off on my hand and just blend those edges. This brush is very soft though. I do like that about it. And then I think, geez, I feel like you jump from this like transition shade to like deep dark. So I think I'm gonna go in with this nice brown shade right here called Flip Out on that M433 again. And I'm just going to start buffing this kind of in my outer corner and deposit most of the product there, and then when I have less product on my brush, I'm going to take it into my crease just a little bit and very lowly in my crease. I do not want this to be blended up very high at all. So now that I've kind of placed that color where I want it to be, I'm going to take that big fluffy brush and just kind of blend over the edges. The shadows are performing well so far. They're nicely pigmented and they're blending well. And then I think just so we can kind of try some of the shimmers in this palette, even though I am going to go over with a glitter, I think I'm going to take this shade Clutch and I'm going to put this all over my lid. I really don't do smoky looks like this. I tend to go for like really rich, warm smoky eyes if I go for a smoky eye. Or sometimes I'll even do like a colorful eye. I just never reach for like cool tone neutrals. So this palette is definitely getting me out of my comfort zone, which is a good thing. I feel like that applied pretty well to the lid. It's not like crazy metallic, but it did apply nicely and with nice intensity. I am using that little LMR Cosmetics packing brush, and I'm just kind of placing this on my lid. I guess I didn't really explain it on the other eye. And I'm kind of taking it in a cut crease shape, but I'm not cutting out my lid with concealer. I don't want it to be quite that harsh. I'm just kind of taking this like 2/3 of the way across my eyelid. So I think that's pretty, but I feel like I want just maybe a tad bit more definition in like my very outer corners. So I'm going to dip back into the Nightingale palette, and I think I'm going to go in with the shade Swoop, which is just an even deeper brown. And that one is also matte. I'm just going to take that on my little e.l.f. detailed crease brush, and we're just going to really focus this in the outer corner. Oh yeah, that brought the depth that I was looking for. I'm going to mostly blend this in that outer corner, but also very slightly into kind of my outer V. I feel like my eyeshadow is two different shapes right now. So to kind of fix that, I'm going to bring this other one out a little bit on the outer corners. We are going to clean this up with our concealer, so you don't have to worry too much about being super precise. I'm just going to go in with that blending brush once again, but this time I am going to take a little bit of Nocturnal, just that matte cream shade that we used to set our lid. Just kind of buff over the edges because this did get a little bit out of control. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like that's kind of my biggest, not complaint, just why I don't really play with cool tone shadows that much. I just feel like when they get out of control, I just look like I've been punched in the eye. So, and that's not really a look I'm going for. Alright, so now that we've kind of got the look basically set up with that eyeshadow palette, I do want to go in with the Stila Smoldering Satin Glitter, and I think I'm going to apply this with my finger. I'm just going to take a little bit off the brush, and then I'm going to tap it on my lid with my ring finger. Yeah, I really like what that glitter kind of added to this look. It added just a little more dimension, a little more fun. So I think the main like fall element of this look is going to be the lip, because it's like this beautiful Deep Berry, because I feel like these eyes are not very fall. I mean, they're smokier, which is kind of one of the marks of fall makeup, but it's definitely not warm toned, it's definitely not cranberry, it's definitely not what I usually think of when I think of fall. So I feel like this look definitely needs some eyeliner to kind of anchor it, so I am going to attempt to use the Butter London Stroke of Wow Roll-On Precision Eyeliner. I've never tried this style of eyeliner. Honestly, I haven't heard great things about it, but I just thought it was so intriguing, so I'm really excited to attempt. I'm not even going to attempt a wing today, although it would look beautiful with this look. I'm just going to try to do a straight across line. I feel like I actually might really like this because when I was swatching it on my hand, it gives like a really thin line, and that's what I like in my eyeliner. So we're going to try it and see what happens. Oh, look at, I'm getting off track already. Oh no. Alright, so I'm thinking that this product definitely has kind of a learning curve. So I feel like that looks really bad, but I don't know if that's me or if that's the product itself. So I'm gonna do that on the other eye, and then we're gonna come back and soften it up with a little bit of black shadow. So I feel like the liner went on a little bit better in this eye than it did on this eye. Maybe it's just because I'm right-handed and I was doing my right eye. But I also feel like on this eye I should have dipped back into like the little pot because like the little roller was running out of product. So I'm thinking it's just a learning curve and that my first time was not great. So I'm going to jump back into the Nightingale palette, and I'm going to hop into the shade called All Nighter on the little flat definer brush from the Alamar Cosmetics brush set. And we're just going to kind of press this over where we did the liquid liner just to soften it up a bit. This is a really great trick if you do liquid liner and, like me, you are a little too messy with it. This just kind of softens it a bit and makes it look a little more smoky and intentional. Alright, so I think I'm going to call that good for the eyes. It's not my favorite eye look that I've ever done, but we're testing out some new products and I'm not that comfortable with cool tones, honestly. So I want to prep my skin today with the Physicians Formula Argan Oil. I'm just going to do a couple drops on my face. I really love doing this in the fall and winter time because I do tend to have drier skin during those months. And I feel like this really just helps the foundation go on a lot smoother. It really helps kind of moisturize my skin throughout the day. If I'm using a matte foundation, it really helps to just kind of make it look a little better on my skin. I don't put this under my eyes because I find that if I do, I get really, really bad creasing with my concealer. It just seems like the oil moisturizes that area just a little bit too much because it never really like sets down right there. So I do avoid my under eyes with. Next, we're gonna go in with the foundation, and today I chose my CoverGirl Matte Made foundation, and mine's in the shade L10. And this is a really nice foundation at the drugstore. I know I've said this before, but ooh, I have nowhere to squeeze it on my hand. I'll just put it on my face. I felt kind of meh about this upon first impression. We'll start with this much and then go from there. I felt kind of meh about this when I did my first impression video on it, but since trying it and kind of using it a little bit more, I have really fallen in love with this foundation. I really like the coverage that it gives. I really like the finish of it. I love that it's transfer proof. I feel like that has a really big impact on the staying power of this foundation. So that first go around was definitely not enough for my face, so I am just going to pump it on the back of my hand. Might be a little sparkly, but it'll be okay. And just dot it all over my face. I do feel like this shade is kind of yellow for me, but once it's all blended in and I have like all my concealer and foundation on, or concealer and blush and highlighter and all that on, it tends to look okay. Wowza, I feel like I'm looking super duper yellow on camera, but in real life it's not this yellow, I promise. So next we're going to move on to concealer. You guys know the drill with this one. I'm going to go in with my Pixie Correcting Concentrate in the shade Brightening Peach and just pop that on my dark circles. I usually just pat it in a little bit with my ring finger just to warm up the product a bit. Sorry if you guys can hear those noises outside. I have no idea what they're doing. It sounds like they're sawing something in half. And then I'm also going to go in with my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. And I am going to put this under my eyes, but I'm also going to use it to kind of clean up our eyeshadow. I'm just kind of sharpening that shape a little bit so it goes more towards my brow bone. Ooh, I actually kind of really like this look with that sharper edge. I'm just going to do one eye at a time. I feel like that's the best way to go with this concealer. I'm just being really careful blending that edge right there. Then I'm just going to do the same on the other eye. I feel like that eye's edge is much sharper than this eye. I'm going to bring this one up just a little bit higher so it matches the other side. So now I'm going to set the under eyes and the face with the Essence All About Matte Setting Powder. You guys know I'm like in a rut with this powder, but I can't stop using it because it's so good and it's so cheap. Like, this is one of the cheapest powders at the drugstore and it performs so beautifully. I think it's like $2.50, which is crazy. And I'm just going to use this powder to set the rest of my face too, and I am just doing that with my e.l.f. tapered highlighting brush. You could definitely go with a bigger brush. I just can't reach my bigger brush right now, so I'm just going to set the face with this one. Sticking with that kind of cool tone theme that we have going on, I'm going to go in with the Balm Bahama Mama bronzer and my Wet n Wild P53 brush. And I'm just going to load some of this up on my brush. This is a really nice bronzer. It's very cool toned and it can be a hair dark on me if I don't use a light hand, but it also doubles really, really nicely as a contour. I've really been enjoying this brush a lot for bronzer lately because I feel like it's a bit more precise, and some days that's kind of what I'm going for. On an everyday occasion, usually I want something just kind of to disperse the bronzer, but when I want to be a little bit more chiseled, when I'm taking a little bit more time with my makeup or doing something a bit more dramatic, I do like my bronzer to be a little more concentrated and used in more of a sculpting manner than kind of to warm up the skin. And this brush is really soft. I think it was a little bit on the pricey side. I was kind of surprised once I looked at my receipt for this one. I think it was $8 or $9, but it's really soft. And I love like the dragon handle. Is it supposed to be like a dragon? I think it's supposed to be like a dragon tail. And I'm just gonna take that under my jawline as well, just to slim that and kind of define it a little more. And of course, down the neck. I just took a look back at my video. I took a little break, wanted to check the footage real quick, and I hated what that lighting was doing. So I turned the artificial lights off. We're back to just natural light. I think this looks a lot better. So if I want to buy some lighting, I'm going to have to actually invest in some rather than just trying to use like my living room lamps with some parchment paper. But anyways, now we're moving on to blush, and I'm going to take the Laura Geller blush that was included in the box. This one is quite glowy, so I'm a little bit nervous. I feel like this is not what would be my first choice. If I wasn't filming this video, I probably would use a more cool tone blush, but since we're here, we're going to try it. Ooh, I picked up a lot. I'm nervous. Okay, so I just have this little kind of flat brush, kind of. It's not very fluffy. And I'm gonna just kind of stamp it on there. Oh wait, that's pretty. That's really pretty. Oh, I was nervous. Oh wait, now that's too much. Oh, it'll blend out. It's okay. Just gonna do the same thing on the other side. This tone is gorgeous though. Ooh, I'm digging it. Yeah, so now they look like a clown. We're gonna use my handy dandy translucent powder trick, and I'm just gonna take the Essence All About Matte powder and my e.l.f. complexion brush, which you guys know I use this thing constantly. If you don't own this brush, it's like $3, I think. Go get yourself one. You can go to Target and get it. And I'm just gonna buff that out. I feel like that blended out pretty nicely. It's still kind of strong. I usually wouldn't wear that strong of a blush. but you know, I'm always down for trying new things. Yeah, I think that looks really, really pretty. Again, not sure that I would pair this like corally of a color with this look, but I think it does look really beautiful on the skin. I feel like it adds a little bit of radiance, maybe it's because I blended it out so much, but it's adding radiance, but I don't see any shimmer or sparkle on my face, and I think it just looks a little bit glowy. It's nothing too crazy and intense. So for highlighter, I'm going to jump into my Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette, and I'm just going to use this shade right here. Ooh, maybe the pink would look pretty. And let's go with this. I don't want to add any more color to my cheeks. I wish I had like a really icy highlighter. I feel like that would be really beautiful with this look. But this is the like lightest, like not colorful highlighter that I have. I do have like a blue toned highlighter, and oh, maybe that silver one for my Anastasia one would be also really pretty with this look. But we've already got this one on, so this is what we're gonna stick with. Just applying that to the high points of my face and a little bit on my nose. I used to not be a fan of like putting any kind of highlighter in my T-zone, but lately I feel like it adds a little radiance to the face, it adds some more dimension, and I feel like it looks really, really pretty. Then I'm just going to take my damp sponge and just tap over that a little bit, just to kind of melt it into the skin. You can also apply your highlighter with your sponge if you'd like to. I just didn't today. Alright, so I hopped off camera really quick, did my brows, because I don't really enjoy watching me do my brows, other people doing their brows, I don't know. So I just kind of skipped through that for you guys, and I'm going to dip back into the Nightingale palette for my lower lash line. And I'm going to once again go in with the shade Hide and Seek, and I'm just going to take a short little shader brush and, per usual, run this under my lower lash line and kind of try to connect it up with the upper lash line, just so those two are kind of cohesive and they kind of work together, because it looks very stark when they don't connect in any way. And I think I'm just going to build up this shade a little bit on my lower lash line. I don't really want to go dark and smoky because I feel like the lids are so intense. So when I kind of smudged that shade on my lower lash line, I feel like it kind of diminished the kind of sharpness on my outer corners, so I'm just going to kind of buff those upwards a little bit. I'm okay with it not being quite as sharp. I think it still looks nice. I just want it to be a little more blended then. Now we're going to jump into mascara, and this would look beautiful with falsies. It would really make the look super glam, but it's literally like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm just going to stick with some mascara. I'm going to curl my lashes real quick. And then I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal Lash Paradise, per usual, and load my lashes up. I really want big, bold, dramatic lashes with this mascara, or with this look. Do you guys like watching mascara in a tutorial? I feel like, I don't mind in other people's tutorials, but I feel like when I'm editing, it's just one of those things that I don't find personally very entertaining to watch. So I'm not sure how you guys feel about it. Let me know in the comments below. So I'm going to add another coat or two in just a second after the coat that I have on right now kind of dries, but I realized that I didn't highlight my inner corner or my brow bone. So I'm just going to take that same Flower Beauty highlighter that we used on our face and just apply it to the brow bone as well as the inner corner. You guys know I've been really into this trick lately. It just helps the look kind of tie together even more. I feel like when you have a deeper smoky look, having an inner corner highlight is so important because it really just opens your eyes right back up again, especially if you're not going to wear falsies. It just makes them look bright and wide and awake. So I am going to add a wee bit more mascara because I love big lashes, even though I'm not a fan of false lashes. I think it's almost time for a new 2 of this. It gets really dry towards the end and it just takes longer to build up really nice lashes. Whereas like I feel like a week in, it's like perfect and you get like super long, super full lashes in like 10 seconds. So I think we're gonna call that good with the eyes. I'm actually surprised by how much I really enjoy this look. I think it looks really smoky and just sultry and I'm kind of digging it. I don't think I'll be converted to a cool tone gal, but I enjoy this look. So now it's time to go in with lips, and I'm going to take this Lorac, what is this called? matte lip color in the shade Orchid. Does not look like the end of this cap, and it kind of frustrates me. It's more of a deep purple, and I'm a little bit nervous because I did try this on last night and it went on kind of patchy, but I don't have any kind of burgundy or like straight up purple lip liner, so we're gonna try to apply it without the lip liner. Maybe I had like lip balm on or something and that was making it difficult to apply, but we're gonna try it without, and then I'm gonna try the deepest lip liner that I have if that doesn't work. I really love the shape of this. It kind of comes to a slanted tip, and I feel like that makes it really easy to be really precise. Okay, so I feel like this applied still pretty patchy. I feel like it's really patchy like right here and kind of in the center of my lip. And it also brought out every little like dry patch in my lip. The color is gorgeous. Like, I don't own anything else in my collection, so I love this color, but the formula is not fantastic. So I think that's as even as we're gonna get it. I don't feel like I absolutely have to go in and redo it with my lip liner. Probably would look better if I did, but for the sake of this tutorial and just keeping it with what I got in my Boxycharm, I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. So yeah, guys, this is the completed look. Do you like it? I am really surprised with how much I like this. The purple lip is gorgeous. This is never something that I would have like bought on my own, but it is so stunning, and I love how it's pairing with the cool tones on my eyes. I love the little bit of glitter and sparkle. But yeah, I'm really happy with how this look came out. Alright, but before I wrap this video up, I do want to give you guys a quick little recap of all the products in this month's Boxycharm. So I love this blush. I thought it was really nicely pigmented. I thought it blended out really well, and I think it's really pretty and glowy without being too like obnoxious. I don't feel like it's emphasizing any texture that I have or any of the acne scars I have on my cheek underneath my foundations, which I feel like some glowy blushes can do even if they're on top of a full coverage foundation, but I feel like this one just looks really beautiful. So I'm super duper excited about this one. This little brush set is great. These brushes are really soft. I feel like this kind of blender brush right here, I'm not quite sure what function it's going to serve in my collection, because to be totally honest, I didn't love it the way I used it today, so I think that one's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. But these other two brushes are super basic brushes that I already use constantly in my kind of brush rotation, so I love this set as well. The Butter London Stroke of Wow eyeliner, this, I'm glad that I tried it because I really wanted to try this format, but I don't think I love it. I think I need to test it out some more, kind of learn how to use it. There's definitely a learning curve with this eyeliner, so the jury's out on this one. I have to play with it a little more. This Nightingale palette, the packaging is just, oh, I love the packaging of this palette so much. I think it is gorgeous, and I love like the little bird cage design inside. I'm kind of glad that I do have it because I don't really have any cool tone palettes, so this will be nice to just kind of have in my arsenal and to kind of make myself go outside my comfort zone. So I do like this product. The only product I'm kind of about, and it's not even that bad, it was just kind of a little bit patchy, I had to build it up a little bit, was the Lorac Pro Matte Lip Color. Love, love, love the color of this lipstick. I don't own anything like this, and I think it is stunning. But the formula, like I said before, was a little bit patchy, and I think I'm gonna have to exfoliate my lips really, really well before I use this product because it is really clinging to my dry patches and making them very, very apparent. So that being said, I do think this is a good box. So overall, I think this was a really great box. It had a really great value. It was, I think it was like $117. I added it up last night. Somewhere up there, and you only pay $21 a month. So you've like more than quadrupled. What's 5 times your money? Pendupled, whatever. It's an amazing value. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys want to see more fall tutorials from me, please leave requests for what kind of looks you would like to see down below. I just filmed a video yesterday of me trying to recreate Raw Beauty Kristy's like extreme fall transformation, and that was so much fun to do. It was so out of my comfort zone, but I have lots more fall videos planned coming your way, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on those. Make sure you follow me on my other social media too. They are always linked down below, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.